Hello. Today I'm going to show you how to network a Zmodo SBN series DVR. This includes the SBN4, SBN6, SAN8, 9114, 9118 series DVR. First thing you want to do is make sure that you have a monitor connected to the DVR. You have the mouse connected to it as well, and an Ethernet cable going to the back of the DVR to your router. So using the mouse, we're going to right click to access the menu. Here it wants to prompt for a user login, so we're going to use the default login, admin, and then the default password at 6 ones. Now that we're logged in, you're going to have to right click on the mouse again and go over to setting. And we're going to head straight over to the net tab, or net. And the first option you can change in here says static IP. We're going to switch that to DHCP. So this way it can assign its own IP address from the router. Just make sure you hit save and exit. And now we're going to go right back into the settings menu. Then right back over to net. And now you should see that it has a working IP address from the router. So you want to write down that IP address, 192.168.1.102. Also write down the gateway IP address, because that's actually the IP address to your router. Then we're going to switch this back over to static IP so that it doesn't change on you. We're also going to change this port number from 80 to 81 because certain internet service providers tend to block port 80 from opening up for remote access. So 81 will be the port we use. Write down the command, media, and we also want to write down the mobile port, because these are the ports that we need to forward in the router for remote access. And make sure IP access is set to disable so you can log in. And save and exit. Now that we have the appropriate network information from the DVR, we can go ahead and head over to the computer to access it and make sure it's working. Now that we're on the computer, first thing you want to do is open up Internet Explorer. And in the address bar, we're going to go ahead and type in http://192.168.1.102. And since that HTTP port is 81, we need to add a :81. As you can see here, it says web client for DVR or eDVS, and it wants to add a plugin or run an add-on. But before we do that, we need to change some options in Internet Explorer. So you want to go to Tools, you want to go to Internet Options, and then click on the Security tab, and now click on Custom Level. And if you pay attention to my mouse, if you scroll right about here, it's going to show you the first option you need to change. It says Download Unsigned ActiveX Controls. That needs to be set to prompt. And then the next option we're going to change is right below it. Initialize and script ActiveX, not marked as safe for scripting. Also set that to prompt. And then choose OK. Click yes there. Apply. And OK. So now that's done, we can go ahead and click on the install or run the add-on. And then after the add-on is installed, you'll see the login page appear here. Ask for a username and a password. The username, we're going to use the default username, admin. Now this DVR is case sensitive, so you want to make sure you have a capital A for admin. And then the password, we're going to use the same password as the DVR, so the 6 ones. And if you check in this box here, it's going to open up all the cameras upon login, which most people would like to do. If you miss it, you can open all of them as you log in. As you can see here, there's no cameras plugged in. Some of the things that you can do on this interface, I'll show you playback here. You can play back previously recorded videos by searching. You need to set a start and end time to search. And then you can also change some settings as well from the DVR. Not everything, but you can change certain settings. So now that we have local access to the DVR, we need to go into the router to set this up for remote access. So go ahead and open up a new web browser or a new tab. And in this tab, we're going to type in the gateway IP that we wrote down. So 192.168.1.1. And the login right here is actually the login for the router. So if you're unsure what that is, you can Google search for it by the router manufacturer. But as you can see here, this is a linksys router. If you're unsure about your router or how to port forward in your router, you can always go to portforward.com for help. So in the linksys router, we want to click on Applications and Gaming and make sure we're under the Single Port Forwarding tab. And we're going to name our applications by the port numbers. So DVR8, let me erase that. It should be DVR81 since we changed it. So DVR81, DVR5050, DVR6050, and DVR7050. So the external port for the first line is going to be 81, and the internal port is also going to be 81. And this is part of the reason why I referenced the port numbers. Protocol, we'll leave it at both, and the IP address we're going to reference is ending in .102. So just check mark enabled, and we'll do the same for the next line. So 5050 here, 5050 there, and the DVR's IP address ending in 102. And we'll check mark enabled. And just to recap, these are the port numbers that we wrote down from the network settings of the DVR. So if the port's not listed in the DVR, don't bother forwarding it because it just won't do anything. So just make sure you write down those port numbers. Now that we got all 4 ports set up here, make sure you hit apply or save settings. And after the router page refreshes, we want to go to another website to check to see if the ports are open. This website is called yougetsignal.com. So this website I use pretty often just to verify my port forwarding. One of the 2 options that are really handy is what is my IP address. When it says external address, that's the address that you use outside of your network. So away from the DVR's location, you'll use the external address. At the DVR's location, you'll use that 192 number that we wrote down. So if you need any help with port forwarding and your ports aren't open, you can definitely contact Zmodo technical support, or you can contact your internet service provider. And thank you for watching that video.